A huge blow in money and lives. The Vietnam War was long, messy, and increasingly unpopular at home. But as we approach the 240th anniversary of the U.S. Army, Vietnam veterans also remember the pride, the honor, and commitment in serving their country. KITV4's Laurie Amata spoke with one veteran who shares his memories of what was lost and learned.
Here, Teddy Clay Keeney.
Clyde Carries is a young man from Kauai.
We're Edward Lovell, Edward P. Lovell. His brothers and I were high school classmates. So sometimes you tend to kind of get lost in all the names.
For veteran Alan Ho, the stacked granite stones not only a memorial to the lives lost, but a reminder of the mantra amplified by war.
They always say there's only two rules in combat. The first rule is that soldiers die, and then rule 2 is that you cannot change rule 1.
As a medic for the Army's 196th Light Infantry Brigade in the Vietnam War, death was a reality many times over. Years after his service in Southeast Asia, his own family legacy would touch another generation.
It meant a lot to him to serve his country.
His son Nainoa, top of his class, multiple degrees, insisted on a stint in the field, telling his father,
"If I cannot succeed as an enlisted soldier, I have no business being an officer." Absolutely blew me away.
In his first tour to Iraq, Nainoa carried with him an American flag, small in size but monumental in meaning. Founded by Alan Ho and his unit in Vietnam, for decades later carried many times to Iraq, Afghanistan, and around the world.
It truly is representative of a commitment, if you will, to duty, honor, and country.
On January 22, 2005, 27-year-old First Lieutenant Ho was carrying that flag when a single bullet from a sniper shot through a small crease in his armor, killing him almost instantly. It would be a devastating blow for a unit who loved and respected their young leader.
And that was probably the most horrible feeling, you know, when the officers came to our house to tell us that our son had been killed. I really don't have any clear recollection of how bright the blue was.
Today, that tattered, faded flag still with him, draped on a fellow soldier lost in battle in 1968.
This flag and myself and Ernie, we all walked the same trails.
A shade away from the state capitol, the Korean and Vietnam War Memorial. Quiet beneath the trees below the ground. Ho says it's what these soldiers would have wanted. It helps him and others find peace in family and friends who couldn't see it for themselves.
You get to a point where you kind of shut all of that reality out and you just kind of put one foot forward and keep going.
Laurie Amata, KITV4 News.
And Alan Ho says the day his son Nainoa died, a Washington Post reporter was embedded with Nainoa and his unit. And just 2 days later, that reporter wrote a lengthy story about the heroism of those soldiers.
Such a moving story. Ho also says that many of Nainoa's fellow soldiers went on to rise in the ranks and raise families of their own. In fact, 3 of them have sons now with the middle name Nainoa.